I just arrived here at our game. My two co-officials, they are officiating right now the JV game. We have a varsity doubleheader coming up. It's a it's the girls varsity game followed by the boys varsity. On the boys varsity game, we have the number 1 and the number 2 seed. They're both undefeated, and they're gonna battle tonight to see who can get that number 1 spot. So it's gonna be a great battle. I'm waiting for my partners to finish their JV game. I'm about to change into my officials uniform, and stay tuned. I'm gonna catch them by surprise. They don't know, they're not aware that I brought, my equipment, and I'm gonna ask them to see if they're willing to be a part of our pregame, so you could see what a live pregame looks like prior to a great competitive matchup. Stay tuned. We're getting ready to go to our next game. We have our crew chief here, Michael Rudd. This is Osiel Silva, and this is Sergio Hernandez. Mike, take it away.
Well, we have a competitive matchup. Both teams are undefeated. We got La Feria against Port Isabel. I've had La Feria one prior time. Port Isabel I've seen on previous occasions, but haven't had them this year. They have a lot of returning starters. Very athletic team. We will have a lot of three-point shooting going on with Port Isabel, so long rebounds. When it comes to that, they don't drive to the basket as much as most teams do. La Feria is very physical. They have a big man inside who is very physical. So it's going to be an intriguing matchup with both big men on both sides. Be cognizant of the fact, of course, the primetime players, let the players decide. First call that we make is going to be on point as far as make it legitimate. Off ball, previous games we had 2 girls games on previous occasions. Not a lot of athleticism, not a lot of contact, but this game's going to change our output. So let's take a fresh look out there and let the lead take any crashes to the basket. Watch for the center, watch for the pass and crash. I think a lot of times, as far as us and as a unit, as I mentioned Osiel, and I've already had you on previous occasions, ball goes out of bounds in a certain area, make sure that it stays in that area, and let's take our time inbounding, making sure we have enough players, 5 players on the basket, on the court at all times for each team. I like to give a thumbs up when I'm ready. Communication, shot going on ball. I know when I'm the lead, when there's a crash, my eyes are down, so if the ball goes in the basket, make sure I score the goal when it comes to that. But a lot of communication, please, and let's make this game what it's worth, live up to the hype.
Okay, I agree. Off ball, I had La Feria one time, and they run a great half court setup, so they'll slow it down, and they run a good offense. So I guess like as a lead, just let's watch out on those illegal screens, maybe down low, trying to clear out corner shots or anything like that. But I agree, everything. It's a transition game for PI. They love to shoot from the outside, so. I mean, let's stick to our fundamentals. I agree with. I understand everything you said. I agree with everything you said. Anything you want to add, Osiel?
No, let's just do on rotation. Let's just go off the lead. Let's not initiate from center. Use your eyes, extend, and once you see a lead come, then you go. That way we're not out of position during the game. It is gonna be faster than these past 2. Obviously, it's a boys' game, but they're very athletic teams. You mentioned they're gonna shoot a lot of threes. Let's protect the shooter all the way up and all the way down. Make sure they're able to land. If they land on the foot, I usually call a foul. If the shooter lands on the foot of the defender, I usually call a foul, even if they don't fall over, just to protect them and get that defense used to not landing in their spot. Like I agree with you with keeping an eye on each other with communication, nonverbal. Just look at each other, make sure everybody's ready. And on the subs, as you're running by the table, make sure just take a peek, even if you're not the ones bringing them in. Just take a peek.
I think this is going to be a highly contested game as far as what we talked about, but the trash talking. Port Isabel to me I've never seen that, but I know La Feria got into it with the team that I had previously against them. They are playing at home, so the intensity is going to be there. If we see anything getting out of hand, let's stop it right away and let them know. We have our warnings if we need to use it against the benches or whatever the coaches. I don't foresee any problems with either coach. They're both very calm, mild-mannered kind of guys. They do take care of their business. So if we have any issues, just let the coach know and communicate to say, hey, I already warned this person, I already warned that person. And that way we can, preventative officiating when it comes to that.
All right, good deal. We'll have a recap at halftime, and then we'll have a post game at the end and see what transpired. We're at halftime. We had a clarification. What do you have, Mike? What was it?
Clarification was whether the intentional foul is considered the technical foul, and is it an extra team foul, stuff like that. I just said mark it on the individual and mark it as a team foul, and we move on.
We had an intentional foul in the first quarter due to the fact that
During pregame, we spoke of like making sure that the hotheads make sure we control the game. You made a great call on an intentional foul. Guy did grab him by the head and did a little bit more than he needed to be doing for a foul, so we got intentional. It nips it in the butt and basically allows us to move on with the game to try and control the game for the rest of the time.
Osiel, anything?
No, it's back and forth. This game was a game of 2 quarters. La Feria had the first, but we just have to stay on top of the game like we have been. Stay above the game. Let the players play it out.
The intensity's been back and forth. Like I said, it's a game of runs. Let's just make sure, be mindful of, there was one possibility on disconcertion while La Feria is shooting. I had the Portismo guys talking, hey, who's boxing out? But then you have them flittering their hands while he's shooting. So let's just bring it to their attention. Hey, you talk if you need to talk. Don't be fluttering your hands and doing all kind of stuff. That way we can avoid that stuff that is kind of like brand new to the game. So
There's been a couple of plays. I know that opens up to the trail. It's down. There's been one or two plays when it's okay as a trail to fire away, down.
I think you came in with one. I like the one you came in with. I was a lead at that time, and you came in with a late one. He got control of the ball. I felt like I didn't have a great position.
It opened up quick, and I think we had a hold the previous time down on the opposite team. So it's just part of being consistent. I just felt, let's pick that one up at the same time. It opened up and it closed, quickly. We picked it up, and so there's times where as a trail, it's okay to to fire away. We want to stay at the 28-foot mark, right? That way we're not too far away. Other than that, I think it's a great game.
Yeah, we're allowing the players to play, and that's what we want to do as referees, and make sure that they're the ones that decide the game. And we're coming in just to control certain things and to keep it the way it is. But I felt the first half was intense and the way it should be played. Neither coaches were really complaining about anything.
Especially the one you came in with, that was after a rebound, right?
Correct.
So after a rebound, all eyes are rebounding action. So that makes it easier to extend our PCAs.
Ready?
Yeah.
We got about 3 minutes. So we'll have a post game after this, and we'll see. Stay tuned. Oh, man, that was a great game. That was a great finish. Give me a little recap. Crew chief.
Well, for the whole game, I thought we did consistent throughout the entire game. We allowed the players to play the game. Fouls that were needed to be called were called. I think that communication throughout the entire game amongst us was fantastic, and I think when you don't have either side of the crowd yelling at you for anything, I think that we must have done a pretty good job. Both coaches were pretty happy. I don't even remember them yelling at us for maybe asking for an explanation, but I think that all in all, we did a fantastic job as a crew. Unfortunate for La Feria, they played a great game and had 3 chances at the end to win it, and the ball didn't bounce their way this half. But we let the players decide, and that's the main thing, I believe.
Game awareness, I think, was key in our crew tonight. There was, up until last quarter, last play, there's so much that went on, could have happened, did happen, right? But we had great game awareness. I think we were able to build. In one of the last episodes I had, I was just talking about chemistry, right? Team chemistry. I think this is our first time working as a crew,
I believe so.
Right? All 3 of us, we've called with each other individually or with another third official, but as a crew, we had a great pregame, right? And I think everything that we spoke about during our pregame, we implemented, and it allowed for a smooth game all the way through, right? I felt comfortable from start to finish, and it's not every night, right, that you can build chemistry and display it on the court like that. And I enjoyed it from start to finish. Anything, Osiel?
I enjoyed that one, man. Like you said, You guys, I trusted both of you guys the whole night. Our positioning was good. Our rotations were good. Communication was excellent. So we let the players play. I think we talked about protecting the shooter, and we had at least 4 shooting fouls.
That was during pregame, and that was a good call. Yeah.
Talked about physical players, hotheads. Late in the third, maybe early in the fourth, there was a jump ball in the paint. You came in just to try to diffuse anything that would have escalated. So I thought we did that in the first with your intentional. We did it late in the game also. So staying on top of the game.
We didn't let the players get too over aggressive and allowed them. It was an aggressive game, but it was not overly aggressive. Where we allowed their temperament to be controlled in such a way to where it was an enjoyable game.
Preventative officiating, right? That's what allows for a clean, smooth game like we just had, competitive throughout.
We do these episodes. One, I think you can feel, that we love the game, right? All 3 of us, we showed it on the floor, and the reason we do this is just for the less experienced officials and newer officials, just to get a sense of. I know newer officials, they start off in a 2-person system, and a pregame like this with 3 officials, it's just a start, an introduction maybe to some of them. We can be an impact to one official. I think we're on the right track, one official at a time, and as it's just giving back, right? Some of the other veteran officials that officiate Division I basketball that we've had the opportunity to network with, we've had the opportunity to learn, right, about giving back to the game, and I think this is what we're doing right now, and it's just, if anybody, it's not about what we know, it's just we're just talking about what we're experiencing, right, and what works for us. And I'm proud of you guys, man. I had a blast, and we will, Osiel, hopefully it's not the last. I'm pretty sure we'll do another episode. I'm with this guy all the time. So, anyways, anything else? Any words of advice to the younger, less experienced officials?
Yeah, just understand that you're going to make mistakes along the way, and don't let it get you down. Don't let it beat you up. I made a ton of mistakes when I was younger as an official. I'm going in my 7th year, and I think that you just learn from it and build on it, and have an open mind to constructive criticism, and have an open mind to just listening and partaking in any type of basketball you can get into, because you never know what situations will be brought up.
Good deal.
Exactly.
Anything, Osiel? Any words of wisdom?
Yeah, I would say trust yourself. If you're on the court, it's for a reason, right? So you put in the work. Trust yourself. Trust your crewmates. And if there's something during the game that's not jiving, talk about it and clean it up. But also, I think it's important. Like tonight, just call the game from start to finish. Yep. Doesn't matter if it's a 1-point game or a 40-point game. Practicing good habits gets you ready for games like this.
Correct.
Start to finish, and just
no doubt.
That's what I got.
All right, good deal.
Appreciate it.
All right,
my brothers.